Welcome back, y'all. It's that episode 13 Plowboi Podcast in full effect. We got DOC, Kai Beats, and Young K-Dog. And I'm G Meezy. We the Plowboys coming at you once again. Hot topics. Going off into this next topic, Young Plowboys. We about to dig real deep.
Nobody knows what waits for the dead. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Takes a lot to change, man. Hell, it takes a lot to try. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Takes a lot to change your plans, hell a train to change your mind. Maybe it's time to let the old ways die. Oh, maybe it's time to let the old ways die.
About to get real personal, fellas. So, I'm gonna pose this question right quick.
Nobody knows.
Y'all ponder this for a second and speak on. What area of your life do you lack the most discipline? An example may be eating habits, bad temper, procrastination, maybe money management, something along those lines. What do you lack the most discipline in your life? Have you found ways or strategies that you can increase your discipline, strengthen them areas where you are weak? Talk about it. Lace these people down, Plowboy. Wait.
I'll go ahead and jump at it. I think with me personally, I look at things I've done positively. Things I've done positive in my life. I always did those things looking for that pat on the back. I always did those things looking at somebody to say, oh, look what K-Dog did. Ain't that sweet? Ain't that nice that he actually went out there and did this or he did that? And I think in my life, a lot of the positive things I've done because there was something negative that I thought would just outweigh. That I thought the positive would outweigh something negative I had done. So in my life, I say it was me teaching CCD or me trying to do something for the youth or whatever, I just thought, well, okay, so let me do these things because God will look at these positive things I'm doing and that negative, he's going to overlook it, which that was the wrong way of thinking. It took me a little bit of searching. It actually took me to go through what was called freedom. I'm going through that for the second time right now, but actually it took me to have some sit down with God for me to realize, man, you can't do all this wrong and do this little bit of good and think that God is going to just forget the sins you did, So basically with me, that's my biggest thing is, I've done a whole lot of good in my life, but I know I've done some bad also, all that good that I've done, what is it worth doing great things when I got sins upon my soul, or I got sins behind me that that God looks at just like he's looking at the good things I've done. But basically that's my biggest thing, just knowing that I gotta face my maker one day. And when God sits me down and he looks at the book of my life, he's gonna point out the good things I did, but he's also going to point out them negative things, them bad things that may prevent me from getting into the kingdom of heaven, that may hold me back from getting into heaven. And at that time, it might be a little bit too late for me to realize and for me to say, God, I did your will. Because he may look right back at me and say, correct, you did some of my will, but you also did some big sinning that was against my will.
All right, K-Dog, D-O-double-G. Because, look up. And have you found strategies that you can use to increase your strength in areas where you do lack?
I found areas with trying to increase my faith, trying to do things that take me away from just having an idle mind, using my faith a little bit more, believing in God and trusting in his word, you know, trying to have more time where I can study his word, you know. An idle mind, they say, an idle mind leads to a life of destruction. So I think filling my mind up with some of the right things that I know I should be doing, filling my mind up with this podcast, with us listening to what our older uncle has to say, our older cousin has to say, or even listening to things like what some of our younger cousins have to say, listening to things like what Buck Berry has to say, you know, him breaking it down real in a way that we understand. You know, I know I'm a sinner. I know I'll continue to sin because no man on this earth is sin free. So I know that I may continue to sin. I just put it in God's hands and I ask that the sins that I do commit, that I am forgiven for, and that I can one day enter his kingdom. But man, it's no telling, you know. I just can only pray and ask, you know, for forgiveness. But I also know that I will continue to be a sinner. You know, I'll continue to do wrong, certain things in my life. I'll continue to maybe not take the Lord's Day, you know, keep holy the Lord's Day, you know. I'll continue to do some things that I think I looked it up one day, and it's a multitude of sins that we commit. Not just the 10 commandments, but I mean a multitude of sins that we just overlook daily. But hopefully I answered that question for you a little bit better by stating it that way, G. But
not for me, man, for the viewers, bro. You answering it for the viewers, man. You telling your story, you telling what you think, basically your strategies to improve.
Yeah.
You know, and you gave that answer, man. Doc, I want to know, where's your area of weakness, man? What's your most weakest area in your life? I know that's transparent. I know you might not want to share that, but hey, we all got some weaknesses. And let me know if you got any strategies that you found along the way in order to overcome your weakness.
Weakness, man, shit. But where do we start? And draw a book, but I ain't gonna share this to the world, bro. Now, but you know, I do. You know, I could say gambling. You know, you sit around in this little town. There's nothing to do, bro. You get that little voice in your head saying, "Go to the casino. Go to the casino. You might win $10,000," which I have, and you know, I have won that amount of money one night. I have won, you know, less money. I have won $5,000, played it all back, you know, but that's the way I am. Either go hard or go home, you know, and I always look at, okay, I go to the casino. I look at what I bring. I don't look at what I win once I get there. Say I bring 120 bucks. I say, okay, bam, I'm up 500. I say, okay. And I subtract 120 from that. Really, I'm only up 380. So I say, I'm gonna just play this 380. I'm gonna go hard and go home. Bam, that 380 might turn into $2,500. So in the back of my mind, I'm only thinking of 120. That's what I went there with. I'm on their money now. Let's roll with it. Then you roll with it. You roll with it. And next thing you know, boom, you're back down again. So you got to go. You got to be disciplined. The real gamblers make it. That's discipline. They go there and then they walk out of there with a little bit, go back in. But the best thing to do is just try to stay out of there. That's a big weakness of mine. I could express that. I mean, but I've been in the game for how long the casino been there? About 25 years. So I've been in the game a long time, The strategy I use is basically like working out now. I work out, I've been doing my abs. I try to work more. I try to get away, travel a lot more, get away from the little town that they don't have nothing to do but gamble. You go to bigger cities where you can act, you find things to get into, the other little things, play golf, go fishing, we go fool around with the horses lately. Get your mind off of it, bro. And, anybody can do it. Anybody can overcome their weakness, man. And another one is like eating habits, the chips. I love chips, no matter how much I love, I exercise and all that. Bag of chips, bro. It's always been since we had the club, man. My grandma had a store, had chips and cookies, and my daddy had a club, had chips and cookies. That you just go in, it was free. It was free for us, so we go in there and eat them chips and cookies, bro. And that sticks to you. You go on down the line, and next thing you know, you're a grown adult eating chips and cookies, which ain't good for you. So then you gotta, back up off of those things like that, and turn that into eat veggies, fruits. Stuff like that, and exercise more. And then with all that being said, I think if you just you got two voices in your head. You got one voice here telling you to go to the casino. You got another voice here saying just read the Bible, stay home and pray. You know what I'm saying? If you would listen to that, if you listen to the right side more, I think that's what I need to start doing. I think y'all doing it. K-Dog and G Money, I think they on it. Their religious tip a lot more than what they used to be, and I'm learning a lot from y'all. Although I'm older than y'all, I'm learning a lot from y'all about God and the Bible. Y'all kicking the verses on, and especially Kabis, very knowledgeable of the Bible and stuff. And I need to start listening to that right side of my brain that's telling me stay home, stay out of them places like that. Because once you go through their doors, you fall into them traps. They got traps and free drinks. And that's why they give free alcohol in the casino, man. It's just they get you to get out your own right mind frame. Here come the little waitresses, drinks, cocktails, drinks. They come around with them free drinks, get them drinks, you get loose, man. And you don't need to be. In actuality, you don't need to be in places like that. That's playing you. They playing you with the free drinks. They gaming you. So stay away from the gamers. And listen to the right side of your brain, bro. Read your Bible, and do good. Save your money, Live for another day.
That's real, man. Hey, I appreciate that transparency right there, son. You speaking on my level right there, man. Look, we all got some addictive personalities, and the fact of the matter is, our biggest weakness could be our downfall. So we got to identify first. And that's what we're doing right now. We're talking about our biggest weakness and what ways and strategies we have come up with in order to combat our biggest weakness. Kabis, lace us down with yours.
Man, I tell you what, this is an easy one for me to answer, bro, because I can tell you right off the bat, my biggest weakness was lack of faith. You know what I'm saying? Lack of faith in God, lack of faith in my own ability to do stuff. And it cost me. It cost me years of life. It cost me money. It cost me friendships. man, it cost me dear damn, it cost me my life. You know what I'm saying? Man, only thing I can say, bro, but for the grace of God, man, I don't even want to think about where I'd be if it wasn't for the grace of God, man, because he brought me from a mighty long way. Man, I feel like I was down in the hole, and I blame God. I blame God for a lot of things in my life. And, you know, speaking back on the Catholic faith, some very devout Catholic people, you know, gave me some hard lessons. You know what I'm saying? A little old Catholic lady, you know, she sat me down a couple of times and, you know, gave me some hard life lessons and, you know, bend my ear and put it on me, you know, put it in my face. Like, what are you going to do? Where are you going to be? Where you going to go? What you going to do with your life? And I mean, listening to that, I'm grateful. I really feel fortunate to have the family that I did. G and Kenny, you know, kind of pulled me to the side and was like, "Hey, bro, let me holler at you. Let me tell you. Let me talk to you." You know what I'm saying? Man, I got some great uncles, Big Doc and Mac. You know what I'm saying? Joe Kid. You know what I'm saying? Even though we may have our, you know, arguments, we may fuss and fight, but at the end of the day, man, I'm telling you, some excellent influences. Big Doc, you know, influenced me to be a truck driver. My daughter was born. I'm like, man, shit, I got to do something with myself. I do something with my life. And it just, you know, that was an opportunity that I was able to do and take and kind of follow in his footsteps. Man, but I mean, the main thing was just having that faith, bro. Being able to have that faith in God, and whatever your faith is, whatever it is, whatever is bringing you closer to God, whether it's the Catholic Church or the Baptist Church, or if it's Buddha or whatever it is that, you know, is bringing you closer to God, man, that is the answer to it. Like we said earlier, it ain't the man, it ain't people, it ain't the building. You know what I'm saying? If you find God in church, go to church. If you find God in the woods, go to the woods. If you find God on the lake, go on the lake. But wherever you need to go to find that connection and get in contact, increase your faith, man, that'll work wonders for you.
Already, man. Y'all boy kicking some real knowledge, boy. Plowboi in full effect tonight.
Yeah, that's what I forgot. That Buddha's been helping me get back on the right track, man. You know, because they tell you about the value of money. You know, going to the casino, you want that money, but Buddha teaches you, you know, about money is worthless. You know what I'm saying? The true money is your inner peace. That's the money. The money is
absolutely
your peace.
Yeah, Jesus taught that too. You know, he said the love of money is the root of all evil. That's what he said. But I respect that, man. I'm gonna just jump in on my weakness from a standpoint of a young man, and I can still consider myself young. I had a birthday last week, but I still consider myself young. My biggest weakness is self-centeredness. Thinking about myself. Selfishness. I have a addictive personality, so I think that when I do the things that I love to do, I look at and focus on those things other than the things around me. I lose focus on the importance of what God's given to me and all the things that he's put in my life. So it's really important for me to reconnect with that. You know, Jesus gave this commandment to mankind before he left. He said, yeah, all those 10 commandments are good, but here's one that's better. A new commandment. He said, love others as I have loved you. And once we can grasp all that, once I can grasp all that, then my selfishness will flee. You see, we get so caught up in the law, the 10 commandments and the past, and our sins, and what we did, and we lose focus on what Jesus is trying to teach. He teaching right here. He teaching right now. Love others. Once you get that, then you're going to lose sight of stealing from your neighbor, killing your neighbor, bearing false witness on your neighbor. Do not covet thy neighbor's wife. You'll lose all that. You'll lose the temptation of all that. Once I can get that deep down in my soul, what Jesus said, love others as I have loved you. I'll lose my self-centeredness. You know, I get talking about weaknesses and how we combat them. I remember from a young age, man, I get my mind on something and I'm focused on only that. Like I'm self-centered when it comes to that. Maybe it might be a new game that I got when I was young. I ain't thinking about nobody else. I'm just trying to beat that game. Or as I got older, I'm thinking about this job or this promotion, maybe. And I'm just focused on all of that and lose sight on all the other things that God has put in my path. He's enabled us to be a multitask people. We can do lots of things, right? We can do a podcast. We can hold down a job. We can be a father. We can be a husband. We can be all types of things because God created us and he gave us this ability. But I lost sight of that. And I think that's our biggest weakness. My biggest weakness. Strengthen myself and the strategies that I use. That was the question. I proposed my weakness. My self-centeredness is my weakness. The strategies that I use is you guys. Fellowship. My wife. Talking to her. My children. Communicating with them. Stop thinking just singularly, internally, and think in a broad direction. Find the God in everything. He said, I give you a new command. Love others as I have loved you. He didn't say love yourself. He didn't say think about only singularly what you're thinking about, what's important to you. He said love others as I have loved you. Once I can fathom that, grasp that, then I know that I can overcome some of my biggest weaknesses. Gave us a new law, a new command. I'm just going to love everybody and try to find God within them, even my enemies, even the situations that come about that are detrimental to me. I'm going to try to find God within those situations. I'm going to just love others. That's how I'm going to overcome. That's how I'm going to combat the battle of my weakness, my self-centeredness, my impatience, my temper, my faults, what I've done, and what I've failed to do. I'm going to overcome it with love, because love is above all things. Love is above fear. Love is above sin. because nothing can separate us from the love. Not even sin. Not even principalities or powers or demons or anything that come about that we talked about. Nothing. But I want you to know this. My biggest weakness is my self-centeredness. Me thinking about myself only. And the way I'm going to overcome it is with love. Thank you, Plowboys.
Yeah, you were born with dirty hands. Yeah, you a plowboy. You're freaking silly, boy. Just trying to make you understand. Yeah, you a plowboy. You're freaking silly, boy. Just trying to make you understand. Oh, yeah.
Thanks for watching Plowboi Podcast. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.